everybody. So I know I said in my last video that I was going to be coming back with a zpop video, but that video took way longer than I thought it was going to take to edit it down. So it's going to take a bit longer for that video to come out, and I'm really sorry about that. But if by the time I put this video up and that video happens to be up already, then I just sound like a whole idiot who doesn't know their own upload schedule. So yeah. But anyway, someone actually suggested this idea to talk about groups that I think that deserve better, and I thought it'd be a really good idea since I kind of mentioned it in my last opinions video. And I do want to also talk about groups that I also think are underrated and also underappreciated. But before I get into those groups and singers, I want to mention a few disclaimers. First, I just want to say that I cannot mention every single group out there, so there are going to be some groups that I am going to leave out. It's not that I have forgotten about the group, it's just that if I were to name every single group out there that I think are underrated and or deserve better, this video would honestly be about an hour plus long. And actually, I had about 40 plus groups written down for this video, so to cut it down to these groups in this video was very difficult. Also, when using the term deserves better in terms of like slept on, underrated, and or underappreciated, I know this is going to be kind of a gray area because I think we all have our own kind of definition of what we consider deserves better or underrated, and there are going to be some groups that I may have mentioned in this video that some people may agree deserves better and or underrated or underappreciated, and some that you may not agree with me on, which is okay because we all have our own opinions. But I do ask in all my videos, I do ask that you please be respectful of everyone's opinion, including my own. And when I mention these groups, I am not trying to pity them or make people stand or support them out of pity. These are just groups that I feel that get overlooked or underrated and deserve better. And these groups are in no particular order whatsoever, and I will only be mentioning groups that are still active. I do plan on making a video about disbanded groups in the future. For this video, I'm going to do kind of like a brief rundown of each group and maybe mention some situations some of the groups have been in since their debut. And I will also put captions in the video of albums or songs that I may recommend or some extra information that I may have forgotten in my voiceover. So with that being said, onto the video. I feel like it's kind of on brand for me to mention Hotshot first, since I tend to mention them at least once in all my videos, and at this point I feel like people have started to catch on that I really like Hotshot. So Hotshot is a 6-member group who debuted in October 2014 with the song Take a Shot. They belong to a small company called Star Crew Entertainment. They put out a digital single and an EP and made moves into the Chinese market as well as the Japanese market before their company basically forgot about them for 2 years. And no, I'm not kidding. Later on, Taehyun and Sungwoon joined Produce 101 Season 2, in which Sungwoon became the final member in the temporary group 101, and Taehyun joining the temporary group JBJ. Later on, Timoteo and Hojung joined the survival show The Unit, in which Hojung made it into the final group UMB, making them a group that had members in 3 temporary groups. They came out with their recent EP Early Flowering in November 2018, and the Star Crew also recently announced that Junhook, the leader, will finally get a solo digital single. This group, to me, despite having members gain popularity from survival shows, the group itself continues to still get overlooked. And in fact, I feel like more people tend to care about the members who were in the survival show and not the whole group itself, and in fact tends to kind of ignore the rest of the members. I also blame the company due to how little they actually promoted this group and its members, and the lack of communication with fans, and the fact that they have these large months in between of their promotions, which tends to kind of make people forget about the group very easily due to how little, again, that they promote them. And actually, thanks to the suggestion of the same person who suggested I make this video, I'm actually going to make a whole video on this group very soon, hopefully. And Star Crew, if you ever see this video for some weird reason and need someone to properly promote your group, email me. My email is in the description box and also in my bio of my channel. But now, moving on to the next group. Similar to Hotshot, Dia is another group that had members gain popularity from a survival show, but the group as a whole, mainly the other members who are not in a survival show, still tend to get overlooked. And to be honest, I think the company is mainly to blame for that due to some of the situations that they made pertaining to the group. So Dia is a 7-member girl group that is under MBK Entertainment that debuted on September 17th, 2015 with their lead single Somehow, who also the same company who used to have groups and singers such as Speed, Co-Ed School, Tiara, Five Dolls, and Avicii. The group has gone through a few member changes and recently had their member Jenny leave due to health reasons. The group, however, had a nickname, or I guess you can also say an inside joke, but not really, among fans and people who knew of the group as Chaeyeon and Friends, due to Chaeyeon getting an increase of popularity from being on Produce 101 and joining IOI, and also from MBK putting her front and center in a lot of their choreographies. Up until Woo Woo promotions, where fans finally felt as if each member was finally getting their chance to shine, and during those promotions, the group also finally got their first win. And it was also the same for WOWA promotions until fans noticed that the dance break, which had Eunice in the center, was changed to Yoonchae being in the center, and Eunice's high note was taken out of the song, which some people felt once again was MBK trying to push another member front and center of the group once again. However, some people have mentioned that Eunice only had the center for the music video, and the center part of the dance break after the chorus originally had Yoonchae as the center. I'm only mentioning this because just to put it out there, since there has been a difference in information that's come out about this situation, and I want to include this so that you can come to your own conclusion on what you think on the matter. But I will say that to me, Dia is a group that constantly still gets overlooked even to this day. I mean, WOWA literally, in my opinion, was one of the most underrated songs that came out this year so far, and the group itself has put out a lot of strong songs that get better with each comeback. Some of my favorites personally of mine are Will You Go Out With Me, Mr. Potter, Woo Woo, and WOWA. And honestly, I think the best way to summarize how slept on this group is, or just how overlooked in general this group is that just know there's a video on Twitter that uses WOWA, which was their recently promoted song, and that video has more views than the actual music video. But moving on. So the next group I want to mention is Sonamoo, and Sonamoo is a prime example of how a company can completely ruin a group, or I guess a nicer way to put it, a company that can hold a group back from their full potential. So Sonamoo is a 7-member girl group under TS Entertainment that also houses TRCNG and also used to house groups such as Secret and BAP. They debuted on December 24th, 2014 with the song Deja Vu. The group released their latest single, I Knew It, on October 28th, 2017. The group has yet to get a first win on any music program, but they did win one award in 2017 for New Korean Wave Music Star. The group has had albums held back, and most of the time the company never provides any updates about the group whatsoever. Yoonjin, a member of the group, also went on to joining the survival show The Unit, where she ended up joining the final group lineup for Unity. And the thing is about this group, I can't really blame people for not knowing about this group, as much as it sucks to say that. I really can't, because this company has practically stood in the way of these girls having a successful career. The vocal line of this group, to me, is so strong, and it's sad that their vocal line is so overlooked. And this group, honestly, with each song they release, gets better with every comeback they get. And it makes me sad knowing that members felt bad that they couldn't even give fans news of a comeback in the future. And it also makes me sad knowing that the members were happy about being called Yoonjin's group, because it was bringing them more attention, and it was basically the only attention they were getting since TS hasn't been promoted to this group whatsoever. And honestly, TS as a company has been the downfall for all their groups besides Sonamoo. And TS reminds me so much like Pledis, but instead of the talent of their girl groups going to waste, all their groups' talents just go to complete waste. But now moving on to my next group. So the next group I want to talk about is a.c.e, and a.c.e is a 5-member boy group under Beat Interactive Entertainment that gained attention after covering groups such as BTS and Blackpink before their debut. and they made their official debut with the song Cactus on May 23rd, 2017, but they did receive criticism from some Korean viewers for wearing hot pants during the promotions for the song. And members Jun and Chan participated on the unit, with Chan making it into the final group, UMB, and the remaining 3 members, Donghyun, Wow, and Byeokwan, participating on the trash of a show that's called Mix 9. And all 3 members ended up making it into the final group, but the debut of the final group was cancelled because YG can't keep to his promises and likes to ruin the chances for idols, and even the ones that are not even under his own company, which, as we know, he recently stepped down from. But anyways, the group recently came back with their second mini album with the title track Undercover, which, in my opinion, is by far one of the most underrated and overlooked songs that have come out this year so far. And a.c.e to me is such a breath of fresh air as a group because they really try to break the mold and defy stereotypes to make themselves different from other groups, and have continuously one-upped themselves with every song that they put out, and try to put out a new style by bringing the genre of hardstyle to the table. And the group is such a talented and well-rounded group that truly does not disappoint. But I also want to take a second to shine a light on Be Interactive, and I know this goes against my opinion that I shared in my last video, but I'm actually happy with what the company has done for a.c.e so far in terms of having them read and be educated on certain issues, and allowing them to learn about producing music, writing songs, and doing their own choreography. And despite not having enough resources for a.c.e, they still try to do everything they possibly can to promote the group properly. And this is just my opinion, but sometimes companies that are well known to me tend to be lazy when promoting their group and or groups, because they expect the group to basically do all the work in terms of promoting themselves and feel as if they don't need to put in any effort as a company. And when I say this, when I say all these nice things about Be Interactive and a.c.e, I'm fully aware that there are companies that may do the same exact thing as they do, but I'm just basically saying this, bringing more information about the group and the company. And I'm not trying to, and I know that there's probably groups out there, but like a.c.e and all the groups I'm talking about, this is just a video to just shine light on these groups in general. And so with that being said, I just want to now move on to the next group I want to talk about. So K&K is a 5-member boy group that was formed by YNB Entertainment and debuted with the song Knock back in 2016. However, since September 10th, 2018, the group terminated their contract with the company, and their leader Yoonjin left the group due to having a panic disorder. And they also formed their own label to promote independently, and also added 1 member to the group, making them once again a 5-member group. And to me, they are a vocally sound group that really deserves so much more attention, and it's sad to me that their previous company could not manage them properly. But keep in mind, let's remember how this company also managed to ruin Bestie, who was also under this company. So disappointing, but not shocking. And I want to include them because it sucks to honestly see a group that had so much hype and praise when they first debuted with such a dynamic song such as Knock, and to now people not even realizing that 1, the group is still together, and 2, that they recently, as I'm recording this, had a comeback and are promoting again. In fact, they're actually about to go on a European tour, and it makes me so sad knowing that not that many people even know about it. So I just want to talk about this group and allow people to know, because this to me is a group I really recommend and I think you should give a chance. And I will also, of course, like all these groups, have song recommendations in all the captions of this video if you want to check them out. Very Good is a 5-member girl group under JTG Entertainment that debuted on May 22nd, 2014 with the single Love Letter. The group hasn't had it easy since their debut, and actually they mentioned a bit about their hardships during their showcase back in 2018, with a few members opening up and saying, "It was really difficult to become an idol group. We prepared this album thinking it was our last. We debuted in 2014. I was underage at the time, but I'm in my mid-20s now. We're working so hard, but I don't understand why we're failing to gain attention. We promoted for 4 years, but the reality is so harsh. It was sad hearing people say that we have no potential." And the girls actually ended up bursting into tears while actually talking about their hardships. In fact, the group was about to disband before they released their first full-length album. 2 of the group's most known and popular songs being Angel and Don't Believe, in which Don't Believe is the group's most viewed music video and gained the group a lot of attention during the Don't Believe promotions. One member of the group, a.c.e, is currently on hiatus for health reasons, and although their music videos for some people are low budgeted, they do not fail to deliver with their vocals, and this group to me has a hidden gem of a vocal line that deserves more attention and more recognition. And it's sad to me knowing that a group who comes from a small company with low income isn't able to promote themselves the best they can or get their name out there due to not being able to properly promote themselves due to a lack of funds. And the next group I want to talk about is n.flying. And n.flying is a 5-member boy group formed by Star Empire Entertainment, and they debuted on January 27, 2016 with the single Lollipop. Also, by the way, thanks Star Empire for the birthday gift. I'm kidding. But Star Empire is also the same group who has, or at this point had, groups such as Nine Muses and Zia. Their debut song, Lollipop, was also produced by the members themselves, and you may have heard of two of the members, J-Up and Woongjae, due to J-Up receiving praise for his vocal ability on a few shows, and Woongjae, who receives praise for producing, composing, and writing almost all of n.flying songs. And you may have heard the group as a whole due to their appearance on the survival show, The Unit. And yes, a lot of the groups I'm going to be mentioning in this video have been on the survival show, The Unit. In the case of n.flying, unfortunately, none of the members made it into the final group lineup. However, n.flying is going to be on tour later this year, making a stop in New York, Atlanta, Dallas, and Chicago, and they recently, I believe, finished their European tour. To best summarize this group situation, I'm going to make a reference to a comment I saw under their latest music video released, Only You. Star Empire as a company has a great eye for talent and finding talent. However, they cannot promote their groups for shit and rely on their groups basically to promote themselves, to the point where the company just becomes lazy to promote them, and not to mention keeping fans in the dark at times, and also keeping the group inactive for a long period of time. And they also are not able to bring out the full potential of their group, and it really is such a shame, because once again it ends up with another talented group that becomes overlooked and unnoticed by the public. So moving on to the next group I want to talk about, the next group I want to talk about is c.o.c. c.o.c is a 7-member girl group under zpop Entertainment that debuted on March 19, 2015. The group started out with 5 members and then became a 7-member group with the addition of Yubin and OØKI in February of 2016. Yubin also participated on the first season of Produce 101. The group gained attention when, before their official debut, they would put on street performances to raise money for children with disabilities. The group gained more fans gradually, however they gained a lot of attention mostly internationally during the Hobgoblin era. However, they didn't receive their first win until the No era. The group recently had a comeback with the single Me. Now, when it comes to c.o.c, something I've always noticed is that since debut up until now, c.o.c is a group that goes through an up and down roller coaster when it comes to gaining attention and recognition. The best example of this would definitely be the Hobgoblin era versus the Where Are You era. Although Hobgoblin didn't get them their first win, it brought them a lot of attention and more fans. But when c.o.c came back with Where Are You, the hype that they once had during the Hobgoblin era went down significantly, to the point where I honestly think the members themselves even noticed it. And it was sad to see a lot of people want c.o.c to stick to one concept but didn't even realize the versatility that c.o.c has, and how they're able to suit this tough, edgy girl crush concept to them being able to suit the soft and elegant, mysterious concept. Not just that concept, but multiple concepts and sounds. And it even surprised me to see that their latest release, Me, get so overlooked this year. And c.o.c is a solid, talented group that was not well managed, but it's nice to see Cube kind of step it up when it comes to promoting them, even though it's kind of 4 years overdue. But despite not having as much attention on them, they stay positive and continue to work hard, and truly they're a group that honestly deserves the world and works so hard and deserves all the good things that are coming to them. So now I'm going to move on to the next group. So the next group I want to talk about is Dreamcatcher. And Dreamcatcher, formerly known as Minx, is a 7-member girl group under Happy Face Entertainment that debuted on January 13, 2017 with their single album Nightmare and promoted the title track Chase Me. The group brings something new to the table by being a rock concept girl group that, along with their rock sound, their music videos have amazing imagery, symbolism, and tell a very deep story. And not only that, but the group has shown that besides a rock concept, that they can do different concepts, as shown with covers that they've done so far. And not only that, a strong, dynamic vocal line that does not get enough recognition when mentioning good girl group with female vocalists. The group has put out 4 mini albums, 2 singles, and not only do they have strong title tracks, the side tracks are as strong as the title track. The group has yet to get their first win on any music show, but have gone on a European tour and have also went on an Asian tour called Invitation from Nightmare City. The latest title track they have put out was Purity, which is from their End of Nightmare mini album. Dreamcatcher has a slowly growing fan base, but also a strong one, and are more than just a unique concept, but have strong vocalists, eye-catching and clean choreography, and for all their comebacks. I do think Dreamcatcher is underrated to some extent, but by far are one of the most underappreciated groups that are currently out there at the moment. So Teen Top is a 5-member boy group that debuted under Top Media in July 9, 2010. The group originally debuted as a 6-member group until Eljo filed for his contract to be terminated. The group has been around for basically 9 years now and have gone on multiple tours to places such as Hong Kong, Russia, Taiwan, South America, North America, and also have been to KCON, I believe, at least once. And they also had their latest comeback with the song Runaway, and also recently announced their European tour. Teen Top is a group that, besides being known for beating each other up on Weekly Idol, they are also known for their very difficult footwork that they incorporate in some of their choreography. And I know it may confuse some people why I'm including Teen Top in this video, but these days I genuinely believe that Teen Top is almost painfully underappreciated these days. And yes, it can be because of the new groups that debuted into the market, but also I believe it's because of what Top Media has been doing, or in fact hasn't been doing, in terms of Teen Top. And although Teen Top puts out really good music, their comebacks are badly promoted, and not to mention there's also issues within the company itself. And not to mention, I was almost close to putting all of Top Media artists, because at this point, Top Media has not been promoting any of their groups properly, in all honesty. And I feel like the 3 of their groups have suffered due to that reason, and Teen Top, of course, being one of them. And I also think that being a 2nd generation group, Teen Top is an example of a group that's overshadowed now these days by the new generation, and are not mentioned unless by people who have known about the group for some time now. And I'm not blaming new groups for debuting, but I am mainly blaming the fact that their promotions have not been done well enough to give Teen Top more attention or allow them to gain more fans. But despite all of that, they are still a very talented group that I do highly recommend. That I know this is kind of like subjective, but they really do put up pops and have really great music videos I think that a lot of people would really like. I just want to talk about K-bands for a second. So originally I was going to mention one band, but honestly at this point I'm just going to mention as many as I can. And if I forget to mention any, please comment any that I've missed in the comment section below. But honestly, it saddens me to see idol bands or K-bands, whichever way you want to call them, just basically start to die off in the years due to not being as popular as idol groups. I remember, besides listening to veteran bands like CN Blue and FT Island, listening to bands like Toxic, zpop, and Lead Apple. I'm sorry, every time I think about Lead Apple, a piece of my heart low-key cracks away. But anyways, idol bands these days have seemed to be like a hidden gem, since it seems like companies are kind of starting to scrap the idea due to them not being as popular as their idol group counterpart. But these days, you have bands like The Rose, who is a 4-member band who is under J and Star Company, who debuted on August 3rd, 2017, who was popular as an indie band before making it mainstream. Marmello, who unfortunately is the only girl band I'm mentioning in this section, who is under Rolling Culture 1 Entertainment, who debuted on May 24th, 2017. Day 6, who I believe at this point are pretty much known amongst people, but are still unfortunately underrated, who is a 5-member band under JYP Entertainment, who debuted on September 7th, 2015. They originally debuted as 6 members, but Junhook left the band in February 2016. You also have IZE, who is a 4-member band under Music K Entertainment, who debuted on August 31st, 2017. N.flying, who is a 4-member band under FNC Entertainment, who made their debut on May 20th, 2015, but however released their first digital indie single in Japan on October 1st, 2013. The band also used to have 5 members until Kwangjin left the band on December 26, 2018. And also there's a band such as ONE, originally known as MAS, who was a 5-member band under RBW Entertainment, who re-debuted as ONE on May 13th, 2019. Royal Pirates, who was a 2-member band who debuted in 2013, who are currently on hiatus, with one member currently doing their military service and one member pursuing activities as a soloist. You also have a band such as FT Island, who is a 4-member band who debuted under FNC, who debuted on March 14, 2019. The band, however, originally had 5 members, but Jong-hoon left the band due to partaking in the group chat that shared illicit videos without the consent of the other party. And last but not least, you also have CN who is a 4-member band under FNC Entertainment, who debuted on March 14, 2010. I will, however, make it known that Lee Jong-hyun, who is a member of the band, also partook in a group chat that shared illicit videos without the consent of the other party and refuses to take accountability of his actions and remove himself from the band, and also said he will use his military service to quote-unquote reflect, which in other words means that he hopes by the time he comes back from his military service, he hopes that people will have somehow forgotten about his involvement. But I just want to remind people that he was involved. I just want to mention that, not to throw negativity to the group, but to also say, in case you do choose to get into CN Blue, I kind of want to make that known in case for someone who does not know about the situation that has happened. But again, that is not to throw hate to the group itself, just a member who refuses to take accountability of his disgusting actions. But yeah, these are some bands that I honestly do recommend, and I do not think that they will disappoint you in terms of the music that they bring to the table. So the last 2 artists I want to talk about are actually soloists, and I saved them last because I guess you could say I feel really strongly about them and maybe a little low-key emotionally attached to them. I don't know, I just really admire them, and I kind of want to go more into depth with these 2, hence why I saved them last. So the first person I want to talk about is Samuel. So Samuel, formerly known as Punch, is a soloist who was under Brave Entertainment. I'll get into why I say was under Brave Entertainment. So some of you may actually know him due to the fact that he was one of the original members of 17 but ended up not debuting with the group, or some of you may know him from the duo One Punch, which he was a part of alongside One, who was a Korean rapper. And at the time, Samuel's stage name was Punch, hence the name One Punch. And many of you may know him from the 2nd season of Produce 101. So Samuel made his first appearance at the age of 11 in 17 TV when he was under Pledis Entertainment. But then in 2013, he left the agency. In January 2015, Samuel then debuted in the duo One Punch with rapper One and put out 2 songs. But then 8 months later, after their debut, the duo ended up disbanding because One joined YG after Show Me the Money 4. Samuel then collabed with Silento and won the award for global collaboration, and then joined him on tour in the US. So now, fast forwarding to April of 2017, Samuel was a part of season 2 of Produce 101, where he ranked 2nd during the first elimination, but was robbed from making it into the final group 101. Then after Produce 101, he debuted as a soloist with the mini album 16 and promoted the title track 16. He went on to promoting songs such as Eye Candy and One, and as of June 8th, he has since left Brave Entertainment and set out to promote himself independently under his own label. This is pretty much like the 3rd time I've had to record this part, because every time I record it, I just get really emotional, and I'm trying to keep that in. But honestly, Samuel has been through so much and been through a lot since pre-debut up till now, from the duo disbanding to people saying that they didn't vote for him towards the end of Produce 101 due to his ethnic background, and on top of that, not being promoted properly. And the thing about Brave Entertainment is that they're really good at producing music for their artists and other artists, but when it comes to promoting their groups and singers, they are shit at it. And Samuel is just one of those examples. I know this is me just being kind of biased, but Samuel is extremely talented, and from 11 years old up until now, he just keeps getting better and better as the years go by, and he's worked so hard, had to overcome so much throughout the years, and has, to me, the makings to becoming an amazing artist if given a fair chance. And as I'm recording this, it's well known that Samuel's father passed away, and personally, I wish this wasn't made public due to the nature of his father's passing. But to Samuel, I am so sorry for your loss. Nobody should ever have to go through the pain of losing a loved one at a young age, especially in this manner. You and your family are in my thoughts and prayers, and I wish nothing but healing and strength for you and for the days you want to cry and be mad at the world. I hope that someone is there for you and that you and your family are able to make it through difficult times, and that just know that so many of us are supporting you and we just wish you well at these difficult times. Oh my gosh, I'm trying not to get emotional again. But before I get too emotional, let me talk about the last artist in this whole video. So the last artist I want to talk about is Sorry. So Kim Sorry is a singer and actress under Mole Entertainment, and she was originally one half of the now disbanded duo Coco Sorry. Some of you may actually recognize Sorry due to the fact that she was on the trash of a show, Mix 9, in which YG made a comment about her age on the show. To kind of go into the situation, when Sorry was on Mix 9 and YG came to Mole Entertainment, YG told her, "You're kind of too old, 28 years old. In terms of idols, it's an age where you should retire." Kind of going into what he said and why that was a really big deal. Also, on another side of things is that compared to male idols, female idols have an expiration date or age, whichever way you want to go about it, that by the time a female idol is near the age of 30 and still hasn't had success in her career, there's basically no hope for them. I know, it's really fucked up. However, YG's comment, according to him, was not meant to put her down, but was actually meant to show interest. I'm not gonna go into that. It's however way you want to say the comment as, but moving on. Anyways, towards the end of Mix 9, Sorry placed 7th, but the group was not able to debut due to losing to the male team at the end of the show. After the end of Mix 9 and gaining attention after the show, Sorry made her solo debut with Touch, which had minor success. Since then, she's released songs such as I'm Ready and her latest song, I'm Not Alone, which by the time I'm recording this, she is still promoting. And it's been said by Sorry herself in a video that she posted on her official Twitter that this single may be her last. Now, I could summarize what she said in the video, but it's more important to hear what she had to say from herself. So I'm going to play the video. It's only a minute long. If you would like to skip it, I will have a timestamp on the screen, but I think it's really important to hear what she has to say because I'm going to probably talk about it towards the end of this video.
Hello everyone, Sorry here. I would like to deliver my personal thanks to those who supported I'm Not Alone through Patreon and Kickstarter. It's important for me to thank all of you in person because you are the reason I sing today. Thanks to you, I'm here yet again with another song. Although it's a low budget and it's not a fancy music video, and I know also well that I'm not super talented. I'm just grateful to be with you. This might be my last single, but I can certainly say I'm the happiest girl because you are with me. Thank you, and I love you, my sweet notes. I'm not alone, and we're not alone. Thank you. Love you.
I'm not gonna lie, when I first watched that video, my heart literally ripped into 1,000 fucking pieces to hear her say that she thinks that she's not super talented. Even though Mix 9 was a shit trash of a show, she proved how talented she was when she ranked number 7 out of 97 female contestants on that show and peaked at number 3 at one point throughout the show. Not only that, she has really good vocals and gives her all dance-wise on stage, and she works super freaking hard to make her fans proud and shows her gratitude. And to feel like she has to apologize for a low-budget music video and feel like she disappointed her fans is honestly truly heartbreaking. Sorry for the soon-to-be rant, but Sorry and all these groups and singers that I mentioned in the video and others that I didn't mention are the reason why I have an issue with people calling lesser known groups, or underrated groups in the case, flops, in a way to shit on them and at times to make another group look better because they don't reach or have what you would call success. Like a lot of popular mainstream groups and lesser known groups, they all have something in common. They all trained their asses off to reach the goal to be able to debut, whether it was 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, 9 years. And keep in mind, some people don't even get the chance to debut. Then to see people say that underrated groups don't make good music, aren't appealing, aren't talented, and just overall put these groups and singers down. And I don't know, at the end of the day, I'm so tired of people shitting on underrated groups and putting groups down when they didn't even give those groups and singers a chance to begin with. And I just think it's important to bring lesser known groups and singers into light, so hopefully someone who has never heard of them or maybe saw them here and there online could be interested in them. And no, I'm not forcing or telling anyone that you have to stand an underrated group, but it never hurts to give them a chance. So with that, I'm gonna end the video here. If you made it this far, thank you so much, and hopefully this video doesn't end up being too long. But if it does, are we really surprised at this point? Because my entire channel is basically just videos that didn't have to be so long, but I somehow made it to be really long. So yeah, if this video ends up being long, I don't think any of us will be surprised. But yeah, tell me if you like the way I formatted this video, or I should format it a different way. It would really help a lot since it's like my first time kind of doing a video like this. And by the time this video is up and the zpop video is not up, I promise the zpop video will be on its way. Unless the zpop video is already up, then once again I just sound like a whole ass idiot. But yeah, if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe for more, tell me what other videos I should make, and thank you so much for watching, and I hope you come back for my next upload. Bye.